Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you've been well. Just throwing a bunch of stuff into the GFC right now, like a bunch of crap. I never installed my headliner kit, so hopefully I have everything to install that. I'll do that while I'm out there. I packed a bunch of radio stuff, just grabbed a bunch of radio stuff, really, and fridge, camping bin, blanket, because it's field day, ham radio, field day, AARP, field, whatever it is, field day, ham radio, the day that we do a summer and a winter field day. And I go out with the radio guys. I have a few friends that are super into ham radio, pretty into ham radio, I would say. Though they would say they're not that into ham radio because they're friends with people that are even more into ham radio. And I'm like the least into ham radio. But I learn something every time I go out. And I don't mess around on the radio much in the day-to-day or even with some of my other friends. So I go out with the radio guys. I learn some stuff. And I try to get a few reps in, dust off the radio twice a year, or a couple of my other radios. Some radios I use all the time. They're just in my trucks, but I don't do a whole lot on them. And then I brought some Baofangs also. I want to program. I have like a dozen Baofangs, and I need to learn chirp. Not learn it, just learn how to do it on them. And I think I bought the right cable, and I brought a laptop, and I brought a power supply and all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to try and figure out how to program a couple of those, mess around with some JS8 call and other crap like that. And I did bring a bike. I don't know. Some of these guys just bring everything, right? There'll be motorcycles out there, RVs. I think one of the guys has an earth roamer if he's going to be out there this year. So I'm just bringing a bunch of random crap that maybe I'll use, maybe I won't use. But we've got the Ari Timp Peak on the rigged Ultra Swing here, if you're wondering what this little setup is going on there. That is the setup. I have a new BLUETTI power station and 350 watts of solar under there that I'll be bringing out to charge a bunch of stuff, because I got a fridge that I've been running on that thing all day. I don't even know what the battery percentage is. Hopefully it's still okay. I don't have a whole lot of stuff in here. I think it's going to be relatively hot tomorrow. I'm going to swing by the grocery store, grab a couple of things to put in. I actually have it on freezer mode, the Iceco back there. And yeah, just going to head out. And I think even though I have camped and slept in the GFC a couple times, I think this will be the first video that I'm making where I'll be doing it. Anyway, I'm running behind. I was trying to knock out a few other things before I left, and those took longer than expected. So I'm kind of scrambling a bit, disheveled, disorganized. I knew I was going to go camping, and I knew it was field day, but I forgot that I was going to bring a bunch of radio stuff. So hopefully I have everything. I kind of just have a radio bag with a bunch of junk in here. And I think I can run HF off of these little Andersons I have back here, assuming hopefully I have some longer connections, but somebody out there probably will. Cool. All right, I'm going to head out. All right, so here, set up. A lot of these guys have RVs and stuff. We even got an earth roamer in the mix, a couple ground tents, some side-by-sides, dirt bikes, stuff like that. There's a generator right here. I don't know whose this is, but there's some other spots I may pack up and move to if that turns out to be an issue. Again, I just kind of threw stuff in the bed here. I have the headliner kit that I haven't installed, so right now I'm actually just putting the Velcro in that it'll stick to. Because the GFC, I don't know. I like the translucent roof because it lets a lot of light in here when you're just kind of hanging out and using it in whatever, cabana mode or whatever. But I also don't like to wake up at 5 a.m. when the sun rises in the summers. So it is removable, but basically the Velcro straps, adhesive Velcro will stay on. So I'll have like lines here when I remove it. But anyway, I'm gonna put it on for now and see how it is. Okay, so way later at night now and super amateur hour. I had my lights on in the camper earlier when it was kind of duskish and just my tailgate and the back open, and then we were sitting by the fire pit for a handful of hours. It's 11 p.m. now, and I just left the lights on in the camper, and now I have 10,000 moths in here with no real way to catch them all and get them out. So that's a good learning experience, I guess, for camper life. Don't leave the lights on and the doors open, because now I have the craziest moth infestation anyone has ever seen. They're mostly up top because I was like, okay, let me turn all the lights off, and I shone a headlamp outside, and I was like, hopefully like a lot of them will just go out there, but they're in every square inch of the camper. Again, there's like, well, I turned the lights off up there to try and get them down, but there's no less than 50 of them up in the top area of the camper. So hopefully I don't eat too many of them while I'm sleeping, but it's a bummer. Most of this video is going to be tomorrow when I'm just filming some stuff, so I'm going to bed now. Morning. So a little later, the next day. I've been up for a bit. I got my bed kind of put away and figured I'd show you the setup before I kind of set up. So I'm just sleeping here again. Got some friends around with motorhomes and some class, like a Class A over there, Earth Roam. There's a Sprinter. It's my buddy with the sweet old Chevy. And then my setup is the Shorty with the GFC, so all these panels move out of the way. Here's the aeronaut quilt. Slept in that, so warm last night. And then it opens up a big area here, so I'll set up a radio or two. I'm not sure if I'll like set it up here with a laptop or down here and just use the Pelican as a little box or something. I don't have anything built out in here. It's just an open bed with a bunch of junk. So I'll tidy up a little bit. Here I have the ice coat and the BLUETTI. This is the Elite 1000. I think V2. I'll talk about it here in a second, but it's been running the freezer since yesterday, kind of morning. So just have some ice cream in here. I don't have it set super cold, only like 12 degrees because I just wanted a cold Gatorade, but not a frozen Gatorade. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I want like a slushy later on in the day. Anyway, I'll be powering some stuff off of this, and then I did bring the solar panel. This is a 350 watt folding solar panel as well. So let me rearrange some stuff and then I'll show you. moved around a bit so I could get this awning out. So I'm gonna get this solar panel set up. $350. Wow. All right, so this guy does have little legs so you can angle it however you need to, but I just have it leaned up against the truck, obviously. Pretty good angle. Sun's up there. Have the cable going in. So let's see what we're getting. It's a little vertical. I could definitely tip the angle up a bit, but up 280 watts going in, 49 watts going out. So we're powering the Starlink Mini, and the fridge over here. It does sound like the fridge is running, so this is full blast, but I like this one. It's pretty small, as you can see, and has 1800 watt AC output, peaks higher than that, and then just over 1,000 watt hours of capacity. I like that they moved to the standard XT60 port over here. They got some DC outputs here, some barrel plugs, and the cigarette lighter. And then this is where I don't have any devices that require this much, but it actually has 140 watt output USB-C PD, and then 100 watt, and then a couple 15 watt USB-As. And then, yeah, like I said earlier, basically the 20 amp style AC plugs over here, pure sine wave. Beyond that, it's got ground stud. It's nice. Not a lot of units this size have that option. And then your standard AC input plug over here. So nice flat top, nice little single hand carrying capability on the side. Compact, good, packs up, stores well. This is all you kind of look for in a solar generator. Nothing goofy, no weird handles sticking out too much. Compact, lightweight, everything in one place. So when you're like this and you have multiple things plugging in, they're not coming out the sides and off the top and weird stuff. So the layout is really good. And BLUETTI historically kind of made bigger and heavier machines, I feel like, but this one is super competitive in its sizing and weight. Also has an app, so if this is at home, you can have it hooked up to Wi-Fi, or you can connect via Bluetooth if you're out in the boonies. So you see I have a couple other devices. I have a AC240 that I use at home all the time, and then Charger 1 and the LX, but this will connect via Bluetooth. I've already connected it via Wi-Fi, but I haven't connected via Bluetooth. So here you can do all kinds of settings and whatnot. You can do real-time displays. Oops. You can turn off and on the different ports here. So that'll click AC on, click AC off. Shows you information, estimated charge time remaining, energy statistics, all kinds of other stuff that you may or may not care about. But you can do firmware updates and what through the app here, and it's just nice to have. So if you're sleeping up top, but you want to kick on some power down here, you can. So yeah, right now just running the Starlink. We got solar going in. It's 21 watts of output right now because I can hear the fridge is not running. So that's what Starlink Mini, 30 watts now, kind of kicks up and down. I find it to hover between 25 and 30 typically, the Starlink Mini. So I just have a USB-C cable run out the side. Starlink Mini's just on the roof of the truck. Solar panel running out that side, and then the fridge hooked up right here. So Yeah, I believe they're doing a crazy Prime Day sale right now as well. So if you're interested in something like this, probably now is the time. So yeah, thanks for sending it out, BLUETTI. Give it some testing today, get some reps in on the radio. All right, so over here we got the ThinkPad with the FT891 cage man bag action. Actually got the new, well not new anymore, but the new digi-rig here that I haven't even used yet. I have used the old digi-rig, but one less connection with the new one. So I bought that, I don't know, 6 months back, and then I need to set it up. We got the Chameleon here. I don't think I'll use it, but I did also get this tuner for this. So this is basically my mobile HF setup, which I never ever use. And then I do have a bigger home setup, but this is kind of my portable little setup where I can run it out of wherever. We got Anderson cable outs. I actually have an Anderson port right here in the bed of the truck. That's wired up to my second battery, so I can just operate right off of that. So I'm gonna get the rest of this hardware set up on top of my table, my Pelican table, and then just hammer the antenna into the ground somewhere over here. So this antenna package comes with a lot of capability, setting up dipoles and whatnot, but essentially what I'm gonna do is hammer the stake into the ground, which I forgot to bring a hammer, so hopefully I can borrow someone's. This goes into it, and then this piece in olive green anodized, pretty cool, obviously, got olive green, all the things, assembles to a tall, I forget how tall, 20-foot tall roughly, I think, antenna that just basically is supported. This is also grounding the system, and then this has the actual antenna wire that is this thing that comes out of it, so I can put it a pretty good distance away or wherever, and then that'll just plug in to the back of the radio. And then with that setup right there, pending conditions, you can talk to people all around the world, either via voice with the microphone that's here, but today we're gonna work in digital. So basically, this whole setup with its whole antenna can do voice or digital communications via FT8, it's called. I just use this program called JS8 Call, which is essentially you can run on a Mac or Windows. I don't know. Again, I'm not that well versed in amateur radio, to be honest. So this is like beyond my capabilities. I only know how to do this stuff because friends have told me and taught me, and I've Googled a bunch, but basically hook that through the digi-rig that allows easier digital communication with interfacing with your laptop. And then I fire that up, and then you basically can join, I mean, it's not really, but in layman's terms, you can join like chat rooms essentially. So if you tune into the proper frequency through JS8 Call, you can basically AOL instant message without the internet, all through your radio and antenna. So it's pretty cool, and I'm gonna see if I can get that going. All right, hitting some snags all around. Last time I brought out the ATAS, which is basically a antenna, a Yaesu antenna that auto tunes with the radio. I'm having some tuning issues with the old Chameleon setup. So we were able to do just a little bit, again, just refamiliarize myself with the setup and how that all works. I did bring a tuner out that I hadn't even opened yet, but I don't have the cable that actually connects the tuner to the radio. So that's good to know, because I've had that tuner for like 6 months and didn't open it till today. And yeah, again, I'm a noob, so figuring some things out, and so we'll shut down operations. Also, I have my RE bike that I brought out and was riding around just a little bit. I have a friend that wanted to try it out as well, and that has the wireless electronic shifter, and I think the battery's dead on that too, so kind of hitting snags all around. Was riding my buddy's KTM around a little bit. They're trying to talk me into getting a dirt bike of some sort, which I think is good. I've never actually owned a dirt bike. I've owned a bunch of motorcycles, just street bikes and whatnot through the years, but never owned a dirt bike. I do have the little Sur-On, but for preparedness, I'm kind of thinking I should get some kind of a dirt bike just to have. They also have this new one, the Stark Varg, and there's a few other ones like it. It's like an electronic dirt bike that has crazy specs, but it's like 12 grand, so it's a lot of money. I kind of just want to buy a cheap little dirt bike on Marketplace for, you know, 1,500, 2 grand, something like that, that is affordable, and I won't feel bad if I don't use it all the time to add to the Sur-On. But yeah, they're all gonna pack up. They brought like side-by-sides and dirt bikes out, and there you have extra room if I wanted to ride along with someone. But I'll probably pack up here, actually, and just kind of slowly pack up, take my time. I'm gonna make some food real quick while I'm out, and then head back to give Ashley a hand with the kids, who are apparently difficult today. So that's what's going on. We found not a ton of success, but it was good to get back on it and kind of see how things worked. Ice cream's been good. I've basically been living off of ice cream on this trip, so probably should get home and do some workouts. But what we got? Yeah, my Gatorade slushie is about right. All right, so we got Jack Boyle cooking. I'm gonna go for this one, Backcountry Bison Bowl. I don't know if I've had that one or not yet from Peak, but we got 42 grams of protein, about 1,000 calories in the whole package, so that'll be good. Boiling some water, letting the Gatorade thaw out a bit. It's a little too frozen. And then I'll pack up my antenna, and yeah, no rush. Got full biscuit in there, so I usually break that up a little bit, but leave some pretty good sized chunks and let that soak in. Hey guys, I forget where I ended that, so probably hard transition to we're back in the driveway. So this is the kind of video I was talking about where, well, in the last weekender I did with Talon in the Tacomas, where I talked about I go camping a fair bit where I don't make videos, and sometimes I'll go camping where I film some of video and it doesn't really come together for a full video. This is kind of one of those videos where I was like, I don't think I have enough to make a video, but I haven't shown you much of the GFC, and I know people are kind of interested in the setup and what I'm using. So this is more just ideas, inspiration, gear check, loadout, setup, whatever. A lot of you guys are gear guys, so I'll just kind of show an update on the GFC setup, what I had, and yeah, just kind of go through some details here. I just got done pulling a bunch of weeds. One thing about owning a little bit of acreage in the mountains, especially new construction build, where you've disturbed acres of soil, you get crazy weeds. So I'm dealing with mulleins. I actually have a ton of poison hemlock in the back. So a few days, I mean many days of the year, but a few solid long hour days, my wife and I and my parents fortunately come and help sometimes, go into just pulling weeds on acres of land, and that's what I was doing today, and it sucks. Kind of got allergies kicking up too. Anyway, I got a lot of stuff that's just kind of a mess here. You like that little, I should probably fix that little, bang that dent out at some point. But this is the rear setup here, if you can see. So this is an Ari Timp Peak. I'm on a tripod. I don't know how well you can see it here. Okay. The disadvantages of a tripod. So I have this little paracord loop on a little hook inside. I'll show you that on the inside. And this is, you can use whatever here, you know, you don't have to use exactly what I'm using, but this is a front runner strap, snatch it, something rather. And what I do here is on a lot of these bike racks, this is a 1-Up Super Duty. It's kind of bouncy, right? Like it would be kind of bouncy. So I just have it slightly, just barely tensioned there to where it just doesn't bounce that way. So if I hit a bump and stuff, you guys, if you mountain bike, you know what I'm talking about. If you use one of these racks, it can start going like crazy. Wah, 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 wah. So what this does is just limit that. So it can bounce once, you know, it'll bounce once in and then just kind of solid up. So when I have the Diamondback, I just hook that to one of the cleats, but on this, I tied like a dedicated paracord strap on there. So anyway, that's what this is for anyone curious. A little hard to do here one-handed with this. It's caught on the edge. Okay, anyway, there. So 1-Up, this is an Ari Timp Peak. I just really brought it out because my buddy wanted to try it out, and I've never had an electronic shifter, and I hadn't ridden this bike in a bit. This battery died on me, so hopefully, I know I have the charger somewhere, but I don't know where I put it. So that was kind of funny. Anyway, this is a really slick bike. I need to do more mountain biking. I fell off a bit 2 years ago. I was doing it all the time, and then I had kids and built a house and haven't ridden as much, but I kind of want to get one of these ride shotgun attachments. I don't know if you've seen them, but it allows a kid to kind of ride here on their own little seat, and then I maybe start taking Cooper out for rides. But this bike is incredible, and I need to ride it a lot more. Anyway, the 1-Up Super Duty, and then this is a rigged swing arm. I forget, I think it's the Ultra Swing or the Mega or whatever, but anyway, it's the one designed to hold hitch receivers. So I believe this can handle like 300 pounds or something crazy. It's got a little step in here too to access whatever. And then this little handle, and then this little kind of secondary safety device. So you pop the handle open here, and then this whole thing can swing out of the way. My tire will hit the taillight eventually, which is fine because it's a little, not stiff, but it'll hold its shape. You can put this pin over here or here if you want to lock it out at certain angles. Anyway, with the bike on, I can swing that out and gain access to everything here. So once I'm at camp, I do that. But if I'm in a parking lot or something and I want to get something in or out of this, the cool thing about the GFC is you just open this up, and then I can either climb all the way in here or just throw something or grab something out of the fridge or just toss something in. So that has been super, super nice. I snapped this handle off on my last trip and replaced it with another one, and I feel like I'm gonna snap it off again. It's kind of wimpy. I saw some that were like beefed up, so I might have to get a beefed up one. The reason is because I have all this weather sealing, so there's a little more tension on the tailgate, so I need to actually push it in and then put two-hand operation, push it in and then pull it out so I don't break that again. Anyway, this is the little thing I was talking about, just a little piece of paracord, little guy here, and that's, you know, goes on the inside when I don't need to lash a bike. But yeah, other than that, I think I've talked about the GFC kind of in, oops, battery on my mic died and I kept talking for another 5 minutes. So here we go, round 2. I've done, you know, pretty in-depth video on the GFC, so if you're into that, that's on the channel already. I do love my rear power from my dual battery setup back here with the Andersons and cigarette. I actually have a little voltage meter here when I don't feel like logging in and checking on the app. I'm actually charging my other mic off of that right now that died. Back here, Pelican case, some Vertex bags. I get asked a lot, that sun shirt, did I film it? Anyway, I've been asked a lot, sun shirt. I wear a lot of sun shirts when I'm out in the sun. I don't like farmer's tans is the thing, and I don't always walk around shirtless. At home, I'm shirtless a lot, but when I'm out, I'm wearing a sun shirt a lot. So Vertex sun shirt, really good. Code last line, down in the video description, I'll put it. The BLUETTI, the Iceco aeronaut quilt, I've had that for years, and it's so warm. It's almost like too warm, honestly, for summer camping. But it is nice. Some antennas, radio stuff, solar panel. Yeah, that's what's going on back here. GFC lighting. It's on red mode right now, but usually I just have it on white mode. But that's great. It was super comfortable sleeping up there on the thicker turbo nap mattress. Oh, I should show this real quick. This is pretty cool. So this is the Cammock. I don't know if I have an affiliate link or anything with them. I've never done this one-handed. Let's see how it goes. But it's a legless, oh yeah, seems fine. Legless awning that you can deploy that fast. And it's up. You can tighten this down a little bit and it kind of sucks it up a little more taut. And then that's it. I think there are like legs and a shade, like a drop down shade thing you can add to it, but I've only ever used it like this. The cool thing is this is full deployment, but you can also do like part of the way. And even if you just wanted less, you could do it like right here and just have a little kind of mini awning. Maybe you just have this open and you want a little extra rain protection or whatever. Anyway, I love having this on here. I actually want to add another one onto the LX. When I do that, that part's gets a little out of whack there, but you want that flush here. Anyway, then you just do this, tighten it up, and then put it into locked mode, and then these little guys just kind of snap in, and then you're off to the races. So I love, it doesn't provide nearly as much shade as like a 270 or something, but just how quick it is to set up is so nice. Like best case scenario, I have this on one side and then maybe a 270 on the other side, so that can give all the shade when I feel like setting it up, and this can give a little bit when I just want to do it quick. Anyway, I did set that up. That is nice. Interior, not much else going on in here. The Peli 1507 you see in every video. I've had this for, I don't know, a decade probably. Got a few scratches, and you know, it's whatever. It's a Pelican case, but it has survived the test of time. Planes, but mostly trucks and camping and dropping it off the back of my tailgate sometimes with accidents. I think that actually only happened once. Been great. ACF TM 500 here. Here I got some air up gear that I didn't even use. My dual battery Renogy 100 amp hour battery back there. Miscellaneous cases behind. Here is so much room. It's so nice. These seat covers have been good still. Some people have asked. These Coverados, I've gotten them very dirty and they clean up very nicely. So still happy with those. You know, the cheapest solution to clean up the interior, make it a little nicer. I hate how big these doors are. They're huge. You need so much room to open them. And these things are, they just don't hold their stiffness at all. So either the door slams on you or it doesn't stay anyway half open. So it opens all the way 13 feet out into the thing. So the huge doors are kind of cool because there's a ton of room and you get access here. For those people that don't know what I'm talking about, this is like a foot longer than your normal Tundra door or Sequoia door. It's huge. It's the biggest door probably of any vehicle ever created. Gotta fix that. I did set out that little hammock. This is Adventure Hammock Systems. It's basically a quick deploy. I'll show you a quick deploy. I'll just do one side. And then hammock pops in there, and you got a hammock mount everywhere. I've had that thing. I had it on the Sprinter on the Jayco a while back too, and just decided to transfer it to this truck. Stuff in here, stuff back here. Did a whole video talking about the dual battery setup in here, so if you want that, it's on my channel. I forget if I showed this in the video or not. Little RC car. I got this kind of to play with Cooper. He's not quite old enough to really understand the steering and the controls and everything, but he'll just jam down on this trigger and I'll steer and we'll drive it together sometimes. But he's getting close to being able to do it. He can drive his own cars, but the RC, like a little Power Wheels kind of deal, but not quite there yet. Anyway, I think that's that. Sorry this video is kind of random, but I know a lot of you guys like the gear breakdown, so hopefully you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to ask them, and I'll try my best to answer them in the comments. I will link to all of this stuff down in the video description below as well. Shut up, roosters. So clicking those links always helps the channel, so I appreciate that. Prime Day sale, I think I mentioned it earlier, so that like BLUETTI and stuff, probably all kinds of crap's on sale. So click my links, go shop, go on a shopping spree through my links. I would appreciate it. Always appreciate the support, guys. Cool. All right. Man, I got these sparrows, like, they're being weird. They're like trying to dive bomb me. I don't know if that showed up on camera or not, but they're going crazy. They're going crazy. I don't know what. I disturbed something with them maybe. All right, guys, that's it. Sorry for the tangent, squirrel. Until next time, take care.